really interesting.
Fantastic.
Interesting.
Fantastic. Interesting. So this is why Fortune Academy Executive is a pioneer at the moment.
Slide this way if you're trying to see results. Active, get active, they can't match this. I got ambition, I'm driven. Hither, man, got the vision. Stay woke, if you're trying to win, you should listen. If you're trying to win, you should listen. Stay woke, if you're trying to win, you should listen. If you're trying to win, you should listen. Stay woke, if you're trying to win, you should listen. Slide this way if you're trying to see results. Active, get active, they can't match this. I got ambition, I'm driven. Hither, man, got the vision. Stay woke, if you're trying to win, you should listen. If you're trying to win, you should listen. Stay woke. If you're trying to win, you should listen. If you're trying to win, you should listen. Stay woke. If you're trying to win, you should listen.
Hi there, so super excited. First ever CEO to IPO event is I've handpicked everyone coming into this room today. Very excited actually, so I feel like it's a get together of my friends. They are characters, so watch out for them. I think what they're going to learn from all of this is going to be incredible. It involves making a lot of money for everyone, especially them. Keep a lookout.
Do you want me to start?
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, so first and foremost, I want to say thank you to everyone. I know 90% of this room, which is very exciting, but I never knew if you knew each other. So it was like a little experiment, putting everyone in one room and seeing who spoke to who, and it's actually worked out pretty cool. The caliber here, I have to say, everyone is incredible. So I'm very honored to have all of you in one room because you are all very serious business players, very successful CEOs, people that are making some who started companies from nothing and brought them to such a high level. I want to introduce Scott from Bentley. He's kindly allowed us to use his premises. I told Scott, I said the deal with everyone is I told everyone that you guys could have a free Bentley Lamborghini. Scott is someone I've worked, I've bought cars from you for years, to the point where I've blindly bought a car. That's how much trust I have in the guy. You deal with people all around the world and in England, the very high players, people, the names that you've heard of before. So you're in good hands. Plus I've made sure he's done a good deal for you. So if you do work with Scott, which I think you should. I know Jazz is shopping already, by the way, so you got one. He's got some incredible deals. He never gives me the deals for some reason. He's telling me about some £60,000 car, and I said, why don't I get deals like that? They've got your card somewhere. Everyone in this room, like I said, is here because you make a lot of money. You're very good at it and you're very passionate about what you do. I have handpicked everyone in here because for us, business isn't just making money, it's about a purpose. A little bit about me. My story so far. Most people know what I do. If you don't, I'll give you a little bit brief outline. So I went into business from 2004. I went into the property market quite heavily initially. In fact, Hanif, who's in this crowd, will have known me from that time, thereabouts, and he was actually one of my mentors because he helped me buy a lot of properties with his influence, no money down, and I started pretty much from nothing, and I built a multi-million-pound portfolio from quite a young age, but because I knew the right people around me. And then after that, I went into the financial markets, purely for a lifestyle change. I had money, but more time. So that's when financial world came into my life. And of course, it takes a while to get good at these things. When I eventually got good at it, got a mentor from the city, Jazz will tell you what these kind of people are like. They're very difficult alpha male individuals, but I've cracked them and I figured out how these work, and they're great. I learned a lot from them. Ultimately, where I am today has been very exciting because I became a shareholder of hedge funds, whereby literally from using my property network and saying, yeah, I want to introduce to the trader who will then make everyone rich. As a shareholder, I got profits on that. I got to a point whereby I got bored of making money just for me. Making money just for one, like for yourself, it wasn't fulfilling. I actually love what I do through Fortune Academy. Fortune Academy, in a nutshell, is a wealth education company. I love telling people how I make money, getting them to do it, and then backing them with funds. I'm part of a prop fund in the city, so we give people money when I teach them how to be a financial trader. We do profit splits on that, so it's very much a win-win. I had a dream, I think everyone who's ambitious has. When you're a company owner, what is the biggest thing in the world? What's the epitome of a company? Long story short, what I was doing last year, I was speaking to my clients and my contacts in New York. They were telling me to list on the OTC, which is the pink sheets effectively, which is like the AIM market in London, OTC, and they were telling me, okay, we'll get your company onto the OTC and then you can uplist and go to the NASDAQ 2 years later or whatever. It's easier and cheaper to do it. Ultimately, out of pocket, I would have been about 2 million, just on legal fees, without the pre-IPO raise and whatever. And then someone in California was telling me, oh, I hear you're, I mean, this is where the power of the network comes in. Someone in California reached out to me and said, you know, I hear you were trying to list, they just small talk. I love people who are ambitious, so I was talking to them about, oh, by the way, I'm going to list on the OTC, what do you think? He said, hey, before you do that, speak to Toby. And I thought, okay, why Toby? Because I knew Toby from years ago in the property space. And I thought, right, so what's Toby doing? Then I found Toby after 6 years. He had moved into the family office, he was working with very high net worths, etc., making rich people richer. Then he showed me a new system whereby company owners can make the public listed level without doing it in a traditional way. I'm not a fan of bankers. Raise your hand if you've had a bad experience with a banker before. Thank you. Because Jazz is a banker, well, you're a hedge fund trader, which is different. But he's in the world whereby firsthand you know what they're like. They're absolute sharks. But they're not very trustworthy people. They're the kind of people that you literally know when you're going to spend money with them, they're going to probably rip you off. So I wanted to find someone who wasn't a banker, but was in the mergers and acquisition space. Toby worked with a company called Unity, which I'll let Toby introduce himself and Unity in a moment. But ultimately, they're an M&A specialist for the IPO benefits. They created something incredible. And what's in it for you guys is for you to understand. Now, I want you to think in your investor head and as a company, how this could be a major opportunity for you. There are huge opportunities for companies that are making net profits of X amount, he'll display the figures, little or no debt, and exponential growth. That's what we're looking for, and those ambitious people. Most people, when you go into a public listing, when people sell a company or go into a public domain, they end up losing their key players. They end up losing the top CEO or the one that actually made the company that big in the first place. And then the stock price drops. Now, that's something I don't want to go through, and therefore, when I met Toby and he told me what he did, it was very much an eye-opener. I had private bankers saying they cannot compete with what this model is doing because there is an industry that's untapped by the banking world. Most of the time, multinational corporations only get this privilege. But now I want to do, through Fortune Academy Executive, I want to tap into the market that is not getting the privilege at the moment, but are completely capable of having it.
Well, I just want to say thank you to all. Thank you all.
Honestly speaking, I didn't really come with any kind of expectations. I didn't really had an invitation, didn't really read up on why we were here, and I found it very interesting. But for certain people, a real opportunity here to grow their organisations in the right direction.
Basically, we've actually come with Jazz, who was introduced, invited by Hither, and so we've come along with him as family member. But we found it was interesting, you know. So it's something that we could look at and talk about in the very near future. I think something there.
I really enjoyed the talk today. I thought it was super fascinating, and I loved how innovative it was and the way it kind of represented a completely new way to do business, which is focused more on unity and on togetherness and on people coming together to make profit together rather than kind of working against each other. So instead of competition, it's about community, and I think everybody profits in that context. So it was really interesting to hear about it. I was really inspired.
I've enjoyed coming to the event. The venue is absolutely fantastic. The people that I've met up with here are absolutely great. Some of the people that I actually know from a long time ago, some new faces. The information I've gathered today is very, very helpful. I have definitely got a few people, clients of mine, who I think will very definitely benefit from the information that's been provided today and maybe actually go towards joint venturing with Hither. I go back and make links with them and somehow link the two parties up so that we can basically make an eventful future for these clients of ours. But otherwise, thank you very much. It's a lovely evening, and thank you for the invite.
Here today to see Hither from Fortune Academy, who's an absolutely amazing lady, fantastic CEO. Just wanted to find a bit more information about the kind of IPO offering that's going on and how this strategy worked. I was really pleasantly surprised. I think it's fantastic that when you hear about things, you're not too sure if you're still going to have your business as normal and if everything's well structured. After this event, it's been an eye-opener to see that everything is very transparent and very fair and reasonable, and it's definitely something I'm going to be looking more into. I highly recommend attending one of these if you're a business owner, and yeah, definitely connect with Hither because she's awesome.
I'll put them on the bench. Yeah. On the bench.
So just wrapping up, it's about nearly 10 p.m. Incredible event. The people in the room are incredible. They're so dynamic. There are so many industries, from hotel owners to companies that are making 100 mil turnover, very healthy margins, to very successful. Every single person was a very successful, profitable company owner. And the best thing about this is the networking, i.e. how they can work together and collaborate. It's all about empowering CEOs to play at a higher level game. And they were all blown away by the whole agglomeration model, how they couldn't pick out any flaws in it, which was great. And that's the whole idea. There were normally this kind of opportunities available to just very high level multinational corporations, or you've got to be a private banker client, and normally the opening accounts are 25 mil. A lot of SME owners haven't got that money or liquid cash in the bank to be able to have these opportunities. So this is why Fortune Academy Executive is a pioneer at the moment. I don't see anyone doing this. This is the first of its kind, and I want more people to understand the message and make sure that they get this opportunity to make sure you make more money together, everybody wins. Can't think of a better option. Stay tuned for future events. They'll be in London, in some very exciting venues. I've got some really cool ideas coming up, so stay tuned. See you soon. Bye.
Listen, stay woke. If you're trying to win, you should listen. If you're trying to win, you should listen.